Hey, how's it going, everyone? GC Performance here, back with another video, and today I have for you guys something I know you will love to see. I have here in my possession a Time Alpe d'Huez road bike disc brake frame set here, and it's a bicycle that is held to such a quality standard that literally has a backing of the man himself, Hambini, and even another gentleman by the name of Mapdeck that definitely love the quality control on this bicycle. So in today's video, we'll be taking this frame out of the box, inspecting it, looking at it. We're not going in-depth dive it. I'm just going to give you guys my expertise on all the other road bikes I built up on this thing and kind of compare it to those and really see what this frame set's about. I'm excited for it. It's something new I got to build. I've only worked on three other Time bicycles in my days, but never with an issue of like a BB or anything like that. Just basically derailleur adjustments, brake adjustments, stuff like that. And those were both rim brake. This is my first disc brake, and this is my first time getting to build up one of these bicycles. And I'm sure if you guys follow the channel, you guys will get to see this coming up. This is a full, pretty much a YouTube build-up. This guy watches everyone's YouTube out there. He's also bought a bike from me before in the past. He got the Time Alpe d'Huez frame set. He got a Hambini bottom bracket, Evo 386. He's got the Craft Racing Works wheels on there as well. He's got the crazy handlebar that I believe Cam Nichols or his Race Academy did the fit on, or the crazy handlebar on there. I don't even know he's sending it to me. So we'll look at that as well. So this is literally going to be, if YouTube had its own bicycles, I think this is what it's going to be. So let's go ahead and get this frame out of the box and see what everyone's talking about. All right, guys, so here's a frame out of the box and unpackaged. This is the Time Alpe d'Huez in the disc brake frame set. It's $4,000 retail, but for some reason right now they're having a sale on it for $3,200. It's a very good-looking bicycle aesthetically. I mean, for me, working on a ton of bicycles. I mean, I sell Specialized, I sell Scott. I don't sell Time. This customer shipped this to me, but I build up every single bicycle out there: Pinarello, Trek, Scott, Giant, whatever it is. But I never built a Time bicycle up from the ground up, and they definitely do have a ton of just really detailed on the top tube. The steer here as well, as this is like a first for me for seeing the steer. I think this is the Dynama and the Vectran, I believe they call it, for the carbon fiber. Excuse me if I don't know, it's my first time working on the bike, but the steer as well on here just looks crazy high end for the carbon fiber weave they have on there. The bottom bracket finish, this is a press fit 386 Evo. But the finishing that always Hambini talks about, this is very smooth compared to other companies I worked on in the past that, you know, you're working on these bicycles all the time and you're just kind of expected to it, but this is definitely faced really well. I mean, even the outside facing of it, but this is very smooth on the inside of it. A lot of the newer bicycles today, in today's day and age, being 2023s, they all kind of went back to BSA threaded, I think just for reliability. I mean, you got Pinarello, Specialized, Trek with a T47, I think Colnago. A lot of the big name bicycle companies are just going back to that just for reliability. And I think people do like that because there's a ton of issues with, like everyone always says, they can't make a round hole straight. They weren't making a round hole perfect. And after producing so many of them, the quality control issues, it was kind of going back on the consumer's fault. But this thing looks really quality. I'm sure with one of these Hambini bottom brackets, I've installed a bunch of these Hambini bottom brackets now. And I will say that his craftsmanship for his BBs are one of the best in the industry. I mean, that's what you do get when you buy his bottom bracket, is that you know for sure that the quality control is going to be top-notch. It's not being mass-produced, it's being made by him. And when you add that solid sleeve of material for the BB in that bottom bracket area, you're not only making your bicycle free of noise when you add the retaining compound to it, but you're also making that BB area stiffer. So when you're putting down power, you don't have to worry about this flexing because it's literally reinforced by a massive amount of material for that bottom bracket, which I'll show you guys. I do have the BB here, but yeah, that's a huge bottom bracket hole, which is really cool. And the finishing on there. Even the disc brake calipers here, the mounting points for the disc brake are very well surfaced. I mean, very flush, no bits of paint sticking up on there. It is gorgeous. And just to see the carbon fiber weave, very cool. I mean, for someone who works on this stuff every single day like I do, it's very nice to see like the craftsmanship that goes into it. Again, I'm not dick rotting here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think this frame to me doesn't do it for me, but those little details and finishing points, like the very smooth resurfaced BB, the very smooth surface disc brake mounting points are very, very nice. The top tube with the exposed carbon fiber on there is gorgeous to look at. But the whole aesthetic of the bicycle, for me, it just doesn't do it for me. But it's very refreshing to see this kind of quality control go into it. It's very nice. The front derailleur braze-on mount, they do give you a front derailleur on here, so the bicycle can be ran a 1x or 2x on here. But this right now is set for 1x. They do give you a braze-on where you can attach a front derailleur to it. Again, I think that just looks clunky. I'm sure they do that for reinforcement, but you could just obviously get like a little cover play in there, like Specialized does. I'm just used to saying them, but I don't like that. I think that looks kind of just bulky in there. Biobase, Dynama fiber at heart, because it matters. And that's basically their motto, is that they do want everything they do to this bicycle matters, and it matters in the end run. 700 by 28C maximum tire clearance on here, which is more than enough. You see people nowadays come out with a 32 or 35C tire clearance. Again, a 28 to me is perfect. I don't need to be going to 30s. I'm sure you could even fit a 30 on here if you want to, but you don't need to go to 35 on a racing, climbing road bike. Some things I do like as well is that this is a traditional 27.2 rounded C-post as well, but this is a proprietary C-post clamp. So you can run any kind of C-post you want here, Envy, Zip, Revol, Chris King, whatever your heart desires, you can choose. But that's one thing I did notice inside the box is that you don't get a C-post with here. You do get other things. You get the Dede, the Dida, the Dede, the Didi da da, the Dede Dida. You get the headset cap spacer here. And then also inside your spare parts box right here, you get your spacers for your bicycle if you need them. You get your 2 through axles. You get a very long steer plug, which is always nice because we've seen other companies who had issues with that in the past. You get a Di2 battery insert for inside the seat post. That's your braze-on adapter that will mount right here. You get some carbon fiber paste, it looks like inside there. That looks like a bearing cap, so just in case you need a little bit more space in between your bearing and your headset cap, so that way it's not pushing down, you can actually give it some more space so it doesn't need to be so stiff there. And some accessory spare parts inside here as well. But yeah, it seems like you can get everything you need inside here. The only thing it's missing is, like I said, is just the C-post. But very cool. Let's look at this. Before I look at the steer, I want to look at this front fork on here. Hold on a second. Yeah, like even the front fork is very well faced for the disc brake mount. That's crazy. I will take a caliper to this just to see it. Just to show you guys, I don't know what the measurement's supposed to be for a BB PressFit 386, because to be honest with you, this is the only bike that I worked on with a PF 386 Evo bottom bracket. Like I said, all mine are really just either BB86 or BSA, but I will take a caliper to that to go ahead and show you guys, so that way you guys can go ahead and tell Hambini if it's wrong or not, if you guys want to. But even the jointing of the through axle right here, like you can see this is crazy. The jointing and the reinforced carbon right here for where this through axle is, and then you can start to see where the actual carbon fiber weave takes off. Very cool, man. It's so pretty. I know it doesn't show that well on camera. You can see like right there, that little line right there. Very badass. Super nice. You have your little internal housing guy for the front fork. That'll pop out right there in the front of the frame. Very, very pretty. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this fork steer on here, because this looks crazy. I don't know if you guys can see inside there, but you can see literally the separation of each rear stay. Right here, you can see the rear stay on the left, the drive side rear stay, and it's separated. And then you can go down here on the right, the non-drive side, you can actually see the separation for the rear stay there. And they're all very well clean cured. Very good looking inside there. Really badass. Usually on bicycles that I'm working on, they don't have this kind of separation point right here. It's just kind of open mold, and the BB is usually a bit bigger there, but I guess that's a joining of the Dynama and also the Velcran carbon fiber. Who knows? But that's for you guys to tell me, and for me just to be in awe and be happy to get work on this bicycle. Because the one thing I do know how to do is build bikes and fix problems when I have them. So if we do run into any issues with these bicycles, I can go ahead and fix that thing for you. It's called a hammer. All right, sorry, I was actually looking for a steer that I cut off of another bike to kind of compare it to on this bicycle right here. But this definitely steer is unique to Time alone. I really haven't seen any other bicycle company do this, but I think this is accounted to their BCS, their braided carbon structure, where they say that this is what they use for in terms of making their bicycles, and that they incorporate this to make it a stronger weave, and that it's supposed to not sacrifice any weight or any comparability in terms of strength, but overall just supposed to give you a way better riding experience, and also supposed to add structural reinforcement to the points of what you needed, like especially a steer right here. And then the Dynama section, they said that there's Dynama at the top tube, the down tube, and also the and head tube area. So the top tube, down tube, and head tube area only internally, so that way they go ahead and add structural strength because they say it's 20 to 25% stronger than steel when they go ahead and they build it the way they do. But apparently there's a lot of outside technology from outside the bicycle industry going into this bicycle being built in here. Will this all equate to a better riding experience? Will it all equate to a faster riding experience? Who knows, but it definitely seems that Time really does hold an industry standard on themselves to go ahead and perform better than last year. And that's always what you want from a company. You don't want to see them taking out and going ahead and raising the prices up and jacking them up. They definitely seem to give you a ton of quality for what they're putting in here. And a lot of stuff on this bicycle alone, I haven't seen on any other bicycle out there. Definitely, it's really, really cool. So very excited to build this thing up. Like I mentioned before, just to wrap up this video, we are going to be building this bicycle up as is with this frame set. We have a Hambini bottom bracket PF BB 386 Evo going inside of here. So it's a structurally one-piece bottom bracket in there. We have the Crafts racing wheels coming over from China Cycling going on for the front and rear. I believe a super lightweight wheel set. Those should be coming here soon. We have an Ultegra Di2 group set going on here, 12 speed. I also have the handlebars on there. I believe they are the ones from RCA, the Ride Academy, the ones that they clamp here, but then they go out. I never really built them up before. To me, I don't like the look of them, but apparently every fitter loves them. And there's a lot of great options out there for them as well. I don't know too much about them, but I'm a big aesthetics guy. So if it doesn't look the way I want it to, I'm not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. I'm excited to try something new. So very happy this customer reached out to me to go ahead and let me build this bicycle. And I'll share with you guys the final product and what this thing looks like when it's all finished. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. And thank you guys again for watching so much today. Very impressed with this Time Alpe d'Huez. And let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. One more thing before we go, guys. I told you I was going to get a caliper or mic it for the bottom bracket shell, the internal measurement. I looked up on the good old-fashioned Google. It is a 46 millimeter. I don't really measure that stuff out at all. Usually just make sure it fits and use the proper equipment to go ahead and do so. I don't think we'll have an issue whatsoever with a Hambini bottom bracket going inside of this Time bottom bracket as well, the shell, especially with some retaining compound. As long as it's not overly gapped out, we should be good. But as long as it measures out 46, we'll be A-okay. So let's go ahead and measure this thing out. I don't have a digital one because mine broke, but I didn't really break it. It's only batteries for inside the store, but it should measure out right at 46. And we are at, oh, I'm sorry, internet. We are at right on the money for a 46. See, so if you guys didn't know how to measure, that's a 4 right there. Then we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 0 marks the 6 spot. That's a 46 right there. Really good. Let me do one more, just top and bottom, even though it's going to be probably the same exact thing. But again, I really don't think there's going to be an issue with this quality control. I've seen good and bad bottom brackets. I've lived through the OSPB with the Tarmac SL4s. I've lived through the other bicycle companies as well. There's always a fix something. Red again, dead on 46 there. I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to have a digital mic for this as well, but, you know, we'll be 100% fine doing the installation of the Hambini bottom bracket in the correct way, and I'm excited for it. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys next video.